If you have to chase her, beg for her time, or convince her to see your worth, you've already lost. Because the truth is, women don't fall for pressure, they fall for presence. And the moment you stop trying to win her and start becoming him, everything changes. You see, the biggest mistake most men make is thinking attraction is about chasing. It's not. In fact, the more you chase, the faster she runs. Why? Because no woman wants to be conquered. She wants to be chosen, seen, understood. So, how do you attract a woman who seems disinterested? You stop trying to impress her and start becoming the kind of man who impresses himself. Let me explain. A woman is deeply intuitive. She doesn't just hear your words, she feels your energy. If you come off as desperate, unsure of yourself, or needy for her attention, she may smile politely, but deep down, she's already made up her mind. The truth is, attraction doesn't begin with her. It begins with you, your energy, your presence, your boundaries, your self-worth. Most women are not attracted to looks or status alone. They are drawn to a man who is anchored in who he is, regardless of her response. You want her attention. First ask yourself, would I date me? If the answer is no, fix that. Because confidence is magnetic, but it's not loud or arrogant. It's calm. It's grounded. It says, I want you, but I don't need you. And that's rare. That's why it works. Now listen carefully. Women also want to feel safe around a man, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. That's not about being perfect. It's about being aware, present, honest. The woman who isn't interested today may just be reacting to a version of you that you've outgrown. So instead of asking, how do I get her to like me? Ask yourself, what am I doing to become the best version of me, even if she never looks my way again? Because the irony is, when you stop performing and start evolving, people start noticing. Especially her. You see, women are not impossible to attract, but they are impossible to deceive. She knows if your confidence is real or just a mask. So don't chase her, don't convince her, don't beg for her attention. Command respect by being a man who respects himself first. Fix your posture, build your habits, heal what broke you, live with purpose, and one day, maybe even sooner than you think, the woman who once ignored you will stop and wonder, how did I not see this man before? And the best part, by then, you won't be seeking her validation. You'll be too busy living the life that made you magnetic in the first place. You see, the biggest mistake most men make is thinking attraction is about chasing. It's not. Attraction isn't something you force, it's something you become. The more you try to chase a woman who seems disinterested, the more she pulls away. Because no woman wants to feel like a prize on a shelf being grabbed by whoever reaches first. She wants to feel seen, valued, respected, and understood. The truth is, attraction has far less to do with what you say and much more to do with who you are when you say it. A woman reads your energy faster than your words. She can tell when you're trying too hard. She can feel it when you're pretending to be confident. And deep down, she knows when you're unsure of your own worth. That's the version of you that pushes her away, not because you aren't good enough, but because you haven't yet realized that you are. When a woman doesn't seem interested, it's easy to feel defeated. But instead of seeing her disinterest as rejection, see it as reflection, a mirror, a message. Maybe it's not about her at all. Maybe it's about what you need to work on in yourself, because attraction is internal first. You can't convince someone to be drawn to you when you don't even feel comfortable in your own skin. Confidence isn't loud. It doesn't scream, look at me. It doesn't beg for attention. Real confidence is quiet. It's the calm in your voice, the strength in your silence, the peace in your posture. It's the way you walk into a room and don't need to dominate it to be noticed. That energy, grounded, secure, nonchalant, is what draws people in. Especially women, the secret isn't to chase her. The secret is to create a life that makes her want to come closer. A life where you know what you want, you're driven, you have purpose, you set boundaries. You're not always available. You're not always trying to impress. You're not always explaining yourself. Because you know who you are, and that's enough. You're not performing. You're not acting like the man you think she wants. You're becoming the man you were always meant to be. It's also important to understand that emotional safety plays a huge role in attraction. A woman might find you attractive on the outside, but if she senses chaos on the inside, she won't feel safe enough to come close. And no, that doesn't mean you need to be perfect. It means you need to be real, self-aware, honest with yourself, emotionally mature enough to own your flaws, work through your baggage, and grow from your past. That's what makes a man irresistible, not his wallet, not his height, not his car, but his character, his peace, his stillness. The woman who doesn't seem interested today might just be responding to a version of you that no longer represents who you're becoming. That's why evolving is the most powerful move you can make. Because as you evolve, your energy changes, your standards rise, your voice deepens, your decisions become clearer, and suddenly the same woman who didn't see you before begins to notice something different. Not because you tried harder, but because you became better. The truth is, women feel your presence long before they hear your words. So if your presence doesn't feel stable, she'll protect herself by keeping a distance. But when your presence speaks confidence, integrity, direction, and emotional depth, she won't just notice you, she'll remember you. A woman is deeply intuitive. She doesn't just hear your words, she feels your energy. From the moment you enter a room, from the way you sit, speak, and even pause in silence, she is watching, not with judgment, but with awareness. Women are masters at reading between the lines. She notices your tone, your body language, your comfort level in your own skin. You may not even speak a word, but she can sense if you are nervous, unsure, or pretending. That's why attraction is less about impressing her and more about impressing yourself. If you walk into a conversation hoping to win her over, hoping to prove that you're good enough, hoping that she'll see something in you that you haven't yet seen in yourself, she will feel that need. And neediness never feels like confidence. What most men don't realize is that women are not looking for perfection. They are looking for presence, a man who is fully in his body, a man who doesn't rush to fill the silence with empty words. A man who doesn't crack under pressure or try to entertain his way into her affection. She doesn't want you to perform. She wants you to be still, sure, whole. That stillness is rare and it's powerful. Because a man who can sit across from a woman, grounded and unshaken, instantly sets himself apart. He's not intimidated by her beauty. He's not thrown off by her disinterest. He's not trying to adjust himself to fit her expectations. He just is, and that's what draws her closer. A woman may be disinterested at first glance, but her curiosity can awaken when she sees a man who is centered, not loud, not arrogant, but steady. She might test you, ignore your texts, keep things surface level, not because she's playing games, but because she's observing. She wants to see who you are when she gives you little. Will you start over pursuing? Will you crumble emotionally? Will you retreat into anger or chase her validation? Or will you remain unfazed, knowing your value is not defined by her response? That's what makes her pause. That's when she starts to wonder who you are underneath the surface. You don't have to be the most attractive man in the room. You don't have to be the wealthiest, the tallest, or the loudest. You simply need to be the one who doesn't lose himself in pursuit of someone else. That energy is unforgettable because every woman deep down wants to feel like she is in the presence of someone solid, someone who has built himself from the inside out, someone who knows who he is even when she isn't watching. When you carry that energy, it changes the way she sees you. It makes her want to lean in, not because you pulled her, but because she was drawn by something. Real attraction begins in the unseen, in the pauses between words, in the way you carry yourself when she's looking and when she's not, when you no longer approach her with a question mark in your spirit, when your energy says, "I know who I am and where I'm going." She feels it. And that feeling speaks louder than compliments, louder than gifts, louder than any clever pickup line. It's not about forcing a connection. It's about embodying a presence that naturally invites one. The truth is attraction doesn't begin with her. It begins with you. You are the starting point. So many men spend their time wondering what she likes, what she wants to hear, how to make her smile, how to get her to notice them. And in doing so, they abandon themselves. They try to shift into what they think she wants, losing all sense of authenticity along the way. But a woman isn't looking for someone who fits her fantasy. She's looking for someone real, a man who doesn't flinch under pressure, a man who doesn't compromise his truth just to be liked. That's where attraction begins, when you become the man who's not focused on her reaction, but on his own evolution. When you walk into a room, you don't need to scan the faces looking for approval. You need to own the space you occupy, not with arrogance, but with quiet certainty, the kind of certainty that doesn't need validation to feel worthy, because real attraction has nothing to do with trying to be chosen. It's about knowing that you are already complete with or without her interest. That's what makes a woman look twice, not because you demanded her attention, but because your energy disrupted the pattern of men she's used to. The ones who try too hard, the ones who are too available, the ones who make her the center of their identity before she's even earned a place in their life. When you're rooted in yourself, you don't chase, you attract. You don't perform, you present, and your presence is felt before your words are ever spoken. That kind of presence comes from self-respect, from doing the inner work, from being accountable, from keeping promises to yourself when no one is watching. It's in your discipline, your routine, your purpose. It's in the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you listen. You aren't in a rush. You aren't trying to win her over. You are simply aligned with who you are, and that alignment makes you magnetic. Most men try to earn a woman's affection. They try to impress with money, compliments, gestures, or charm, but those things mean nothing if they're not grounded in substance. A woman may enjoy them for a moment, but if your foundation is weak, if your confidence is shallow, if your life lacks direction, she will eventually pull away. Because women don't just want to feel good around you, they want to feel secure. Not financially, not physically, but emotionally. Can she trust your character? Can she feel your stability even when things get quiet? Can she sense your strength in moments when most men would fold? If you want to attract a woman, especially one who isn't showing interest, you have to stop trying to change her mind and start changing your life. Redirect that energy back to yourself. Build your body, sharpen your mind, develop your vision, respect your time, heal your heart. Fall so deeply in love with who you are becoming that her attention becomes a bonus, not a goal. Because when you carry that kind of presence, she feels it in her chest. She notices that you're not like the others, that you don't need her interest to feel powerful, that you're not waiting to be chosen, you're choosing yourself daily. And that's when her curiosity begins. That's when the woman who once looked past you starts to see you with new eyes. Not because she's changed, but because you did. And you did it for you. You want her attention. But first ask yourself, would I date me? This isn't just a clever line. It's the question that shifts your entire perspective. Because so many people want love, desire, admiration, and intimacy, but they don't stop to look in the mirror and ask if they're truly the kind of partner they're searching for. Attraction isn't a game of luck or lines or strategies. It's a reflection. Who you are speaks louder than what you say. So when you find yourself wondering why she's not interested, pause, turn inward. What would it feel like to be in a relationship with you? Are you emotionally intelligent?